Shri Chaitanya Manabhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swam Padantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Utapat Kamlam Shri Gurana Vaishnavascha Shri Rupam Sagritam Sagan Ragnatvitam Dham Sajivam Sadvaitam Sarabhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagallalita Shri Vishakha Nitavascha Hey Krishna Karuna Sindhu Dina Bandhu Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namastute तप्त कांचन गौरांगी राधे वृंदावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुत देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभक्ष कृपा सिन्धुवैव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवभ्यो नमो नमः जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. Hare Krishna. So should I speak in English, Hindi? English. Okay. So I welcome you all for the session. As you all know, I think so everybody knows me here, those who have come. I'm Radhika Krpa from Delhi. And it was Guru Maharaj who told me, His Holiness Gopal Krishna Goswami Maharaj, when I got initiated in 2001, just after, before initiation even, he told me that I should give lectures, and then just I got initiated, and within a year or and a half, he was telling me that I have to become an international preacher one day. And he said that he wanted me to travel all over the world, and I had all his blessings to travel anywhere on this planet for preaching. So it's all his mercy that I'm here today. I've been traveling since 2007 around the world, half the globe every year. So I've been coming to Canada and Australia and some parts of the Europe and the eastern part like Japan and Singapore, Thailand. These all parts I've been going. But America is the first time. I've been on the Zoom, giving lectures in America on Zoom for the last 5 years. But then first time I've come to America. So it's very nice here because Guru Maharaj always said travel and preach. For me, going anywhere in the part of the world, I've been to Pakistan twice for preaching because Guru Maharaj wanted me to go there. He only sent me in 2008, I went to, 7 only, sorry. In 2007, I went to Pakistan. 2006, Guru Maharaj goes to Pakistan for preaching. And then in 2007, he tells me to go and preach there. So I went in 2007, June, I was in Pakistan. So like I wrote a book, the first book I wrote in 2007. 2006, I wrote a book on poems. Because when I was, in 2002, March, we were doing parikram in Mayapur Navdeep Dham. I had written a poem on death and I had just shown it to Guru Maharaj and he said, 100 out of 100, very good. One day publish all your devotional poems. So in 2006, I published a book called Pearls of Devotion with my devotional poems. And then Guru Maharaj was always telling me to write a book on Sikhism and Vaishnavism because I belong to Sikh family. I'm from a background, Sikh family background I have. And I had read Granth Sahib. So reading is nothing, it's nothing that you have read Granth Sahib, so you know Granth Sahib. You know Guru Granth Sahib. It cannot happen. Reading Bhagavad Gita doesn't mean that you know Bhagavad Gita. But then it is Guru Maharaj's mercy that I could actually relate to some verses from the Guru Granth Sahib when Guru Maharaj would talk about the Bhagavad Gita shlokas. So he would often tell me, write a book, put all this in a book. So I have told this story many times. The other day also I was telling, and you can go for the Wednesday lecture and hear about it, that how this book came up. So this book is in 5 languages. It was printed in Sindhi and Urdu in Pakistan. It distributes in Sindhi and Urdu in Pakistan. So this book talks about the similarities about the Bhagavad Gita and the Guru Granth Sahib. And there are many verses from Srimad Bhagavatam, Bhagavad Gita, Chaitanya Charitamrita in this book. So I've written till now 6 books. Because Guru Maharaj always, every year, all the time, he would say, write, write, write. I've written many, many articles in Dandavats.com, in the Back to Godhead magazine from America, and from the domestic magazine we have Back to Godhead in India. I've written many articles there. So Guru Maharaj always wanted me to write articles, and then he would often tell me that if you write an article, we cannot have any, you can't put up approach there in the international BTG or Indian BTG. You just write it and it's up to them. They have a review committee of 12 people. Your article goes all around the world for review. And if it is passed, then it is printed in the Back to Godhead magazine. It's got a very high standard. So he told me, write an article and how I came to Krishna consciousness. So I wrote an article and just sent it without telling Guru Maharaj. I had the Nagaraj Das Prabhu from the US. I had his email ID. So I sent him the article for review, and I was very sure that it won't pass out. And that's why I didn't tell Guru Maharaj even. I thought, let's wait and watch what happens. So that article was approved and it got printed. And when it got printed, Guru Maharaj was in a GBC meeting in Vrindavan in the month of Kartik. There were all GBC meeting going on. And the issue came up in the November 2008 issue it was. And the book, the Back to Godhead magazine was given to all the GBC members in the meeting. The meeting was on BBT itself. And the Back to Godhead came up. And when Guru Maharaj got the Back to Godhead in front of him and he flipped through the pages, there was a big picture of mine with my article that how I came to Krishna consciousness. And Guru Maharaj was so happy to see the article that he left the meeting in the middle and came downstairs. And he gave that Back to Godhead to my Prabhuji and he said, oh, your wife is in the book. She's here in the magazine. And he gave that magazine to me. I still have that magazine with me. So he said, you keep this copy with you. Because the first copies had come to them and he gave his copy to me. So that is how the Guru is. When he orders something to write, it's half accomplished. It's already done it. You just have to put the words in it. Everything is ready for you to do it. So likewise, this Vaishnava teaching in Sikhism, when it came out, he was very happy. So this book actually he always said in his foreword, even he says, Guru Maharaj tells in his foreword here, that this book actually will bring the people together. And Jayapataka Maharaj gave a testimonial for this and he said, thank you for this wonderful contribution. I pray you can make many pure devotees. Jayadvait Maharaj said, the book demonstrates very well sorts of parallels to be found between the Guru Granth Sahib and the Vaishnava text. This should prove valuable for devotees. You have rendered a good service. The book is also designed nicely. So it's important for us to understand that we have the purpose of human life. As we are devotees, we all know. We have been into ISKCON for some years and we know the purpose of human life is to go back to Godhead. We have to work to go back to Godhead. So this strengthens the belief. Yes, when interfaith comes up, it strengthens the belief that yes, we are on the right track. Nobody can defy us if we have the knowledge. So when I was in New York, we went to see the Statue of Liberty, and I had a question the other day in a lecture there. So I said, the Statue of Liberty, actually, it's Bhagavatam, She's got a torch in her hand and she's got the books in her other hand. So without the books, without the real knowledge, one cannot get liberated. So light, actually, the torch denotes what? Enlightenment. So it actually denotes coming out of darkness. So that is how it is. When you have the knowledge of the scriptures, you are out of actually darkness. So you are out of ignorance. So that is how it is. And you get liberated. So it actually is liberation comes with knowledge. So Krishna even says, when you have knowledge and you perform devotional service according to the scriptures, according to the knowledge, according to the shastras, then you will get liberated. And you are very dear to me if you do follow this path. So here I will read some verses from here, and then you all can actually know it for yourself that how it is that it's so similarities are there, so much similar. It says here in the actually in the there is a section of the Sukhmani Sahib that is called in the Guru Granth Sahib a Sukhmani Sahib. It's got 24 Ashtapatis. Ashtapatis means 8 verses, 8 verses paras. So it's got 24, and we have 24 hours in a day, and it talks about all about our life, that how it is actually. It says here in the ninth Ashtapati, it comes in the ninth Ashtapati, it talks about that how we are a Vaishnava. How do we become a Vaishnava? Who is a Vaishnava? It talks about it. It says, Mithya nahi rasna paras manamay preet niranjan daras par istri roop na pekhe netra. So I'll be describing it along with it, going along with it. So Mithya nahi rasna paras. It says, a Vaishnava is one who does not take falsity. He doesn't have false behavior. He does not have, actually, he's very truthful. Mithya nahi rasna paras. His life is full of truthfulness. He's very sincere, simple, but the first thing, how do you become sincere and simple? Unless you are truthful. Mithya has got a lot of, Mithya can be understood as a fake life. A devotee does not lead a fake life. He's not a hypocrite. Kali Yuga is a sign of hypocrisy. Kali Yuga is full of hypocrisy. People are not what they look like. Behind your back, there will be something. In front of you, there is something. So that is how people are in Kali Yuga. That's why the Guru Granth Sahib says, Mithya nahi rasna paras. A Vaishnava is the one who is not like that. He doesn't have a fake behavior. Maname, it has got Maname Preet Niranjan Daras. Vaishnava is the one who is always desiring to have darshan of the Supreme Lord. He's always craving for the darshan. So that is how the Vaishnava is. Paristri Rupna Pekhe Netra. He does not look to the beauty of the other women. And what Prabhupada gave in ISKCON is like every woman is Mataji. Except your wife, you have to call everybody Mataji. So you may have all that you're not enjoying the beauty of the other women. So par istri rupna pekhe netra sad ki tehel satsang heta. Again, you find this very much what Prabhupada says here. Sad ki tehel. Tehel means service, giving seva to the sadhus. Sad ki tehel satsang heta. And he's always in the association of devotees, satsang. That is a Vaishnava. He is actually serving the devotees of the Lord, and he's always in the association of the devotees. Sabte jane apas kau manda. And he is very humble. So how do you see the humility when he says, I'm your servant? So we should not just be writing that I'm your humble servant. We should actually feel, yes, we are serving others. It says here, Karana sune kahu ki ninda sabte jane apas ko manda. Karana sune kahu ki ninda. So you can relate to the first Nama Prad. He does not blaspheme anybody. And doesn't listen even to the blaspheme, the criticism of others. He leaves that place. He does not want to listen the criticism of others even. And then he is sabde jane apas ko manda. He thinks himself to be the most humble, like he thinks himself to be the most degraded person. Others are all better than him. He's the worst one. He thinks that way. That is a devotee. He's not puffed up. He doesn't say, oh, I am the best and the rest are all worse. But he says, rest are best and I am the worst. Guru Prasad Bikhyate Parhare. Guru Prasad. Guru actually gives you in Prasad the mercy. Prasad means mercy, Kripa. So Guru Prasad Bikhyate Parhare. He accepts this, that because of the Guru, he has actually come out of all the distress in this world. Man ki vasana mante tare. And all the vasana, that is the desires in his heart, in his mind, they actually go away with the mercy of the spiritual father. Indri jeet panch dokte rahat. He has actually conquered the indriyas, the senses. And then when you conquer the senses, you actually go away from all the distress in this world. Nanak कोट मधे को ऐसा परस. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, out of court, out of millions, there is one like this. We are all trying to be Vaishnavas. We have a Vaishnav Tilak and Kantimala, but we are just trying to be Vaishnava, a pure devotee. So, aisa Vaishnav is only out of millions, he is one. नानक कोट मदे को ऐसा अपरस वैष्णव सो जिस ऊपर सुप्रसन्न. Out of millions, there is one like this upon whom Vishnu is very pleased. So they are Vaishnava. Upon whom Vishnu is pleased, they become a Vaishnava. Because Vishnu is happy with them. Vishan ki maya te hoye pin. And he is actually away from the maya of the Vishnu. Vishan ki maya. Vishan means in Punjabi we are saying Vishnu, Vishan. So he is actually, Krishna says, Mammaya Duratya. Devi Hashi Gudmaya Mammaya Duratya. This is my Maya. So a Vaishnava is the one who is away from Vishnu's Maya. He knows this Maya is Vishnu. It also belongs to Vishnu. Everything belongs to Krishna. So the Maya is also his. But the devotee, the Vaishnava remains away from Vishnu's Maya. Vishan ki maya toye hoye pin karam karat huve neh karam. And what the karmas he does, they are neh karam, nishkarma. He performs those karmas, which are actually offered to the Supreme Lord. This Vaishnava ka nirmal dharma. This is actually the dharma of the Vaishnava. That's the real dharma. That he is performing every karma for the Supreme Lord. That's his dharma. That's our dharma. Our dharma is not that you are Hindu or a Muslim or a Sikh or a Christian. Your dharma is just following what the Supreme Lord has said. Just following that is dharma. Kaho phal ki ichha nahi bhache, keval bhakta kirtan sang rache. He has no other desire other than just sing the glories of the Supreme Lord. He is just dancing in the kirtan of the Supreme Lord. Mantanantar Simran Gopal Sab Upar Hovat Kripal. He is always chanting the Mantanantar. In his mind and with his body, everything, he's always doing the kirtan, he's always chanting the name of Gopal. Sab upar hovat kripal. This Gopal is actually has the mercy over everybody. Aap dridhe avaro naam japave, Nanak o Vaishnav param gata pave. He chants the holy name himself, a Vaishnava, and he makes others also chant. He preaches. He practices and he preaches. Nanak, O Vaishnav Paramgata Pave. Guru Nanak Dev Ji says that Vaishnava is going to have a Paramgati. He will get the liberation. So there is more to add to this, but then we can understand, we can relate to what is being said here. That a Vaishnava is who a Vaishnava is. So there's a beautiful story in the Guru Granth Sahib about where I've often told this story in my lectures. There's a Sand Nai. There's a barber called Sand. He is actually, he gives a massage every day, daily a massage to the king of the state. He is daily going to the king's palace to give him massage. That's his duty. Once he takes initiation from a guru, and then he goes and asks the guru that, when will I get the fruit of my initiation? How will I know that my initiation has fructified? That I have been blessed with my initiation. When will I know that? So his guru said, the day when the Vaishnavas come to your home and do the kirtan, you will be blessed. You may understand that your initiation has fructified. You've got all the fruit of your initiation. So he was waiting for the day when he would get the association of the Vaishnavas. So, but every evening he used to go to the king's palace. One day in the evening when he was coming out of his house to go to the palace to give the king the massage, he saw Vaishnavas coming to his home. They were doing kirtan, Hari Kirtan, and they were proceeding towards his home. Now he was actually confused what to do. What should he do? He could not, if he goes to the king, then he misses what his guru has said. But if he actually does not go, the king might even put him in prison or kill him, because the king had a habit of sleeping with his massage itself. Now he thought what to do. And then he finally decided, let the king go where, like, let me serve the Vaishnavas. I will not go to the king's palace today. He decided that. And then he welcomed the Vaishnavas to his home. They had kirtan whole night. And whole night they were singing the glories of the Supreme Lord. And in the morning, early morning, the Vaishnavas, they left. And now the whole day he was thinking that nobody came from the palace and nobody came to ask why did he turn up. And no, he was very scared now. And when the evening came, he got ready and he went to the palace, king's palace. When he went to the king's palace, he was actually anticipating that the king might actually put him in prison, or he might get a scolding, he might anything might happen now. But he was very scared. And with slowly, he actually entered with king's palace. When he entered the king, he was very surprised. The king was very happy. King was so happy with him that he actually gave him a lot of gifts that time. He said, I'm so happy with you. Yesterday I slept and I could not tell you that how wonderful your massage was. You gave me such a beautiful massage that you haven't given me in the whole life, you have never given me such a massage. It was so beautiful. And I really was waiting for you that when you would come and I would gift you this and that. And he gifted him a lot of, he thinks, jewels, and a lot of emeralds and pearls were gifted to him. And then Sandhanai knew who came to massage the king. It was the Supreme Lord himself who came as Sandhanai to massage the king. So this is how it is. When we serve the Supreme Lord, he actually serves his devotees. He served the instructions of his guru. And here Krishna performs for him. So that is when we follow the instructions of the spiritual master. Then what happens? Krishna is so pleased that he performs for you. He serves you. That is how the words of the spiritual father are said to be very strong. They are empowered words. They are not just spoken like that. Not a single word will be spoken like that by a bona fide spiritual master. Every word has weight in it. So likewise, this story tells us that how important to be a Vaishnava is and how important it is to serve the spiritual master. The words of the spiritual master. Serving means the instructions, following the instructions of the spiritual master. So likewise, in the Guru Granth Sahib, there are many other verses are there. The whole Guru Granth Sahib is filled up like the stories like this. The whole Granth Sahib has got beautiful verses that are actually like what the Granth Sahib, what the Gita says, what the Bhagavatam says. Even there is a beautiful verse where it's Namdev Ji. If you have heard of the Namdev Ji from Maharashtra, the saint from Maharashtra, Tukaram, Namdev Ji, they are very popular saints, famous saints of Maharashtra. Namdev Ji went even to Punjab, Gumman. He went there to preach. Namdev Ji, it is said, had 72 times darshan of the Supreme Lord. 72 times Krishna appeared before him. Name dek Narayan hase. It says in the Guru Granth Sahib, when Krishna looked at Namdev and Narayan, he started laughing, smiling. So Namdev Ji pleased the Supreme Lord so much that he would smile and laugh at him. So there is a verse in the Guru Granth Sahib where it says, Name eh kohe Gita. That Bhagavad Gita says the same. It says there, Bhairo Bhoot Sitala Dhave, Khar Vahan O Char Udave, Hauto Ek Ramaya Layo, An Deve Badlavan Deyo. So this talks about when people go to demigods and they ask for liberation. They go to demigods and they ask for things, the material things. Namdev Ji says that the demigod and goddesses, they cannot give you liberation. It clearly, Namdev Ji he speaks to Mahamai, that's Mahamaya, Durga Devi. He says, Mahamai ki puja kar nar se nar hoye avtare. Tu kahiyat hai ad bhavani mukat ki bari aayi to kahan chipani. So though it clearly Namdev Ji says that he talks to Adi Bhavani. He says, when it's the chance, when we ask for mukti from you, liberation, you go and hide somewhere because you cannot give it. Mukti only who can give? Mukunda. Mukunda is Krishna, Mukti Data. So it says here, Mukat ki bari aayi ta kahan chapani, Gurmat Ram naam geh meeta, Pranave name eho keh Gita. Namdev ji says, this is what the Gita says. This is what Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita. If you go to demigods and goddesses, you will not come to me. You are doing the bhakti in your way, but this is called Truti Purna Bhakti. It is not the right process. So come to me. For anything what you want, come to me only. Because the rest, they are all demigods and goddesses who have actually been assigned to help Krishna. They are helping Krishna. They are the energies. They are the actually working for Krishna. So this is how it is important for us to understand. The interfaith is actually to strengthen our faith in Krishna. Rupa Goswami says, Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Sang Tada Bhajan Kriya Tata Anartha Nivriti. If you want to go to the level of Krishna Prema, first these preliminary stages have to be passed out. If you have little bit of Shraddha, faith in the Supreme Lord, then Krishna plans it that you reach Sadhu Sang, you reach Satsang. Gurbani says again, Bina paga satsang na labije, bina satsang male barije jiho. Without being good in good fortune, without being very fortunate, you cannot reach a satsang. You cannot reach the association of devotees. Only those who are very much fortunate, they reach to the satsang. They make it to the satsang. Bina paga satsang na labije. Without doing any pious activities in your credit, unless you have pious activities in your credit or a little bit of bhakti in your credit, you cannot reach a satsang. When I came to ISKCON, it was my life story. I was searching for a few very important questions, answers to very important questions. And it had happened that I had lost my father at that time, and I was looking for some answers to the questions that had come up the very night I lost him. So when I became a devotee, I asked my Guru Maharaj, I asked him, I said, Guru Maharaj, why did I come to ISKCON? I want to know that. Why did I come? How come I made it here? And then he said, because you had punyas and bhakti in your credit. That is why you couldn't make it. Otherwise, I said, I could have gone, like I had lost my father, I could have been more into the materialistic life. I had gone back to that. Because people find solace in going out. When you are in grief, others, your relatives and others, they come over and they take you out. They say, let's go out. Forget this. Let's go somewhere. Let's be out of this depression. Let's go away. So let's go to a beautiful place. Let's go and watch movies. Let's go to the clubs. Let's go hotels. Every evening, every morning, they will plan something so that you are not in grief anymore. So I said I could have gone back there because I had easy access there. I was leading a life like that. But then how did it change all? And then I said, because you had the punyas and the bhakti in your credit. That was the turning point. When it came, it hit you and you turned towards the right direction. So this is how it is. That we actually, when we have some pious activities in our credit, this makes it happen. Our sins get lower and the pious gets higher. That's why how you turn to bhakti. So bina paga satsang na labije. Without it's in your bhagya, without being that you have this in your credit, you cannot enter a satsang. It's not so easy to enter a satsang. With Prabhupada mercy, we see, so many centers mushrooming up everywhere in every corner of the world. And easy access to satsang is there. Because this is the mercy of a very pure devotee of the Lord. That is why this is possible. So, bina paga satsang na labije, bina satsang mala barije jiyo. Without being in the association of devotees, you will lead a sinful life. Sins will get accumulated. That is going to happen for sure. That's why Krishna had to say in the Bhagavad Gita, the ultimate shloka that comes up in the Bhagavad Gita is this: Sarva dharma paritajya maam ekam sharnam praja. Am tam sarpapebhyo Mokshyami ma shucha. Krishna says, just surrender unto me, just come to me, and rest I will do. I will actually make you sinless. You will get rid of all the papas, all the sins. But unless we get rid of all the sins, we cannot enter the spiritual world. We cannot enter Krishna's home. We cannot enter our own home. That's back to Godhead. We cannot go back unless we get purified. The Gurbani talks about this. It says that we all are actually, if you have heard Prabhupada lectures many times, he talks about it, that we have all come back from there. We were there with Krishna, but we have come for to get reformed here. Because we had committed a misuse of our little freedom that is actually never taken away from us. And we actually misused it with our ego. We misused it. And because we were very puffed up, and still we are puffed up. That's why Krishna has sent us to this Reformation Center. That's the Mrityu Loka, the earth. And there are millions of earths. This is the only one earth we have here, which we know. So he sent us here to get reformed, to get rectified. And the Gurbani says, he is the only man. That's the Bhagavatam says. Rest all are females. He is the only man. We are all his brides. We are all married to him. And we have been sent here because likewise, in earlier days, when a wife would actually commit some mistake, the husband would say, go to your parents' home and stay some days there, unless you actually improve yourself. So it is like that. Krishna has sent us to our Maika. He sent us here to get rectified, then only we can go back to our Sasural. So Krishna, it says in the Gurbani, Sab Mukulavan Har. Eki Kanta. There is only one husband, he is the one. And rest all are here and they have to go back to Sasural unless they reform themselves. So we have to actually reform ourselves. And that reformation is under the satsang. It happen here. So Binapalga satsang nalabije. And Rupa Goswami says, Ado Shraddha, when you have little bit of faith, Krishna gives you association of devotees. So one should feel lucky when one is in the association of devotees. That is how it is. And then when you get to the association of devotees, then what happens? Then the bhajan kriya starts. Then you start chanting. You listen to glories of the Supreme Lord. Ado Shraddha Tado Sadhu Sang Tada Bhajan Kriya. Now the Bhajan Kriya has started. Bhajan doesn't mean that you have to sing bhajans. Bhajan Kriya means that you are chanting now. You are listening to the glories of the Supreme Lord now. And then what will happen when the Bhajan Kriya goes in? Anartha Nivriti. You will get rid of Kam, Krodh, Lobh, Moh, Irsha, Dvesh, lust, anger, greed. All these vices will leave you one by one. You don't have to make any other endeavor. You just have to do Bhajan Kriya. And rest, Krishna takes care. You have little bit of faith, you reach the devotee's association, you start chanting, and then Krishna takes care of everything. He sends you a spiritual father. He sends you a mentor. There are 4 kinds of guru. The first is the Marg Pradaksha Guru, who shows you the way of the satsang. Second is the Shiksha Guru, who teaches you, who mentors you. Third is then the Diksha Guru, who actually initiates you into the spiritual kingdom, who gives you the mantra. The mantra is the same. The mantra is it's available everywhere. But when it comes from the spiritual master, it comes with a potency. It's empowered mantra. It can change everything for you now. It's so powerful. There is no difference between the Guru, the mantra and Krishna. They are 3 alike. They are all equal. I'm not saying this is Jeev Goswami says. He talks about this in the Sandarbha. There's another book I've written, Guru the Spiritual Father. In that book I've given all the quotes on initiation and how Guru is so important in our lives. So this is how it is. Anartha Nivriti. And then slowly and slowly you will get to the stage of Asakti, Ruchi, and then Krishna Prema will come. Then you will get the love of Krishna. So this happens then. So we are very fortunate that we are under the shelter of Srila Prabhupada. He is the preeminent Shiksha Guru. So there are many, we can say that. The Marg Pradaksha Guru, the Shiksha Guru, the Diksha Guru, and then the Chaitya Guru himself. So Chaitya Guru is the Supreme Lord himself. He reveals in your heart, he's sitting in here, he's seated in here, he's seating. He's already in your heart. Krishna says, Sarvasya Chamidhi Sarmishta Matasmirti Jnanama Paunamcha. I'm seated in your heart as Paramatma. I know everything. If you really want to come to me, I will make all the arrangements that you come to me. But if you don't want to come to me, if you want to go away from me, I'll make all the arrangements that you go away from me, that you may never come to me. There's another story where Guru Nanak Dev Ji visits two villages. He goes to one village where there are all devotees. They are all very nice devotees. They welcome him, they sing the glories of the Supreme Lord, they do kirtan with him, they all enjoy with him, they respect him a lot, and he stays there with them. But then when he's leaving them, he's leaving that village where there are all devotees. When he's leaving that village, Mardana, who is actually always with him, the Muslim disciple of Guru Nanak Dev Ji, he's always traveling with him. So he asks, Mardana says to Guru Nanak Dev Ji, what actually boon would you give them? What Ashirwad would you give them now? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, ye sab ujad jaye. They may all get disperse away and may actually be now bereft of all the material things in this world. Ye sab ujad jaye. And then Mardana is very surprised. Anyway, Guru Nanak Dev Ji smiles and walks ahead. He enters a village where there are no devotees. They do not welcome him. They make fun of him. They don't give any respect to him. They all jeer at him, laugh at him. They don't want to listen to Krishna's name. They don't want to listen to Hari's name. And now Mardana says, smilingly Mardana says, now what Ashirwad will you give them? What actually will now you give them? What boon would you give? So Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, they may get everything in this world. All the material things they may get. They may become very opulent. And they may stay here for ages and enjoy their opulence. Mardana is very surprised what kind of this is. And he then asks, why so? Why you told them they were so nice? And you said they may actually disperse, they may go away from that village. All of them may disperse. And here you say they all stay here and enjoy the opulence in this world. Then Guru Nanak Dev Ji says, they are devotees. Wherever they will go, they will make devotees. Whether they go to any part of the world, they will make devotees. But if these kind of people, they go somewhere, they will actually create havoc. They will create people like themselves. So it's better they stay here. They are actually the flies, the house fly who sits on the dirt. So they should sit on the dirt here. This material opulence is all dirt. They think it's something good for them, but this is actually going to keep them here. It is going to bind them to this world. And those devotees, when they lose everything, they have still the Supreme Lord with them. So wherever they will go, they will make devotees. And they are the honeybees. These are the flies. That is the difference. So then Mardana said, yes, now I understood. So this is what it gives answers to our many, many questions. Where we think, oh, material opulences are everything in this world. No, only the best thing in this world is getting the association of a pure Vaishnava. Going under the shelter of a pure devotee of the Lord. That is the best thing can happen to any person in this world. So we are very fortunate that we are in Prabhupada's mercy. We are enjoying the Prabhupada's mercy and traveling all over the world. I can really feel that when I meet so many devotees around the world. So there are many things to say, but I think so the time restraint is there. I'm supposed to speak till how long? So any question anybody has, we can always talk on that as well. Yes, Prabhuji.
Mataji, does Guru Granth Sahib mention Chaitanya Mahaprabhu also in somewhere?
This Vishambhar name has come up in the Granth Sahib.
Or
And
any
Chaitanya
reference of
and Guru Nanak Dev Ji, yeah. Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to Jagannath Puri,
Right,
and
yeah.
he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there. And they both danced together and sang together. This has been actually written in a Chaitanya Bhagavat in Odia by Ishwar Puri. There is an author called Ishwar Puri in Odia. He has written this in a Chaitanya Bhagavat. And our own, there is Satya Raja Das. He has written essays. He's Prabhupada disciple. He has written an essay. There's a book called 9 Essays he has written, and that one essay is on Guru Nanak Dev Ji. He writes about that how he made the actually investigation, and he met a Sikh historians, and he sat with them and they discussed all, and they came to the conclusion, yes, Guru Nanak Dev Ji went to Jagannath Puri, he met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu there, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, actually, it's written in the Chaitanya Bhagavat, that by Ishwar Puri in Odia it is. So, not the Vrindavan Das Thakur Chaitanya Bhagavat, but the another one, Odia one. It mentions there that when Guru Nanak Dev Ji came to Puri, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu put his own personal servant in his service. And Guru Nanak Dev Ji was welcomed, and they both of them they danced together where Jagai Madai, Rup Goswami, Sanatan Goswami, Nityanand Prabhu, they all were there with Saranga. Saranga is Mardana, who plays Saranga. He plays Sarangi, that's why it's called Saranga. So Saranga was there, they all danced and sang the glories of the Supreme Lord. They all did kirtan there. So if you go to Puri, so there is a Bauli Mutt, a place on the Swargdwar. That is actually the place where Guru Nanak Dev Ji stayed. Jagannath Puri.
I know Sargdwar. Where is, I will go.
Near Swargdwar, there is Bauli Mutt. Bauli Mutt. Bauli is well. So Mardana, it is said, Mardana and Guru Nanak Dev Ji reached there, and Guru Nanak Dev Ji was doing kirtan. And Mardana said, I am a Muslim, they will not let me enter the Puri temple now. How will I get the prasad? How will I eat? What will I eat? And the water is not sweet here. There was actually sea there. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji just lifted a small piece of stone was there, some rocks, he lifted and there water came out, sweet water. That's the Bauli. That's the well there. And that's the Bauli Mutt. Now it is a mutt where Guru Nanak Dev Ji stayed. The Pandas, they did service to him. They served him. So their descendants now, they are there and they have the Vigrah of Jagannath Ji and Guru Granth Sahib both together there. So they worship the Guru Granth Sahib. They have it. And they say this is our place. Like we served him. Our ancestors, they served Guru Nanak Dev Ji. So this is how it is. And there is a very folk tales are there where it says when Guru Nanak Dev Ji was at the beach here at the Swargdwar, he was actually the prasad, as Mardana said, what will I eat now? How will I get the prasad? I cannot enter. So Guru Nanak Dev Ji and he are seated and doing kirtan there. And the plates, when the bhoga is offered to Jagannath Ji, the plates get missing there. And the plates, they are found here. And how these are found? The king gets a dream at night, and the Pandas, he tells the Pandas, the king is told by the Supreme Lord, go and take the Pandas and welcome, there is a saint who has come to the beach, go and get him from there. And when the plates get missing, all the Pandas are worried, what happened, where did they go? And they're looking for them, and in the meantime, the king reaches there, and he says, come with me, we have to go and search for a saint who has come here. And then they find Guru Nanak Dev Ji. And then they find all the plates are there. The prasadam had already reached there. So these, who tells, these are folk tales there. Because I myself was looking for this place like say 20, 25 years back. We had gone to Puri and I was searching for this place. That where Guru Nanak Dev Ji came. And I left my hotel room in the morning, attended the Mangalarti in the ISKCON temple. It's in a small street, you know, the temple is a small temple in a street. So I went up and did the Aarti, and then I went down to the beach and I wanted to know where the place is, where Guru Nanak Dev Ji stayed. So somebody told me that they won't understand when you say, if you speak to the Odia people, you have to say Nanak, Nanak, Nanak. So I said, I asked one person, but the best thing was I wanted to go to a Gurudwara and there I would know. So I asked where the Gurdwara is nearby. And then while chanting, walking, and I reached a Gurdwara. So I went inside and asked them that where is the place where Guru Nanak Dev Ji came and stayed here? So they said, oh, there is a car going, right now there is a car going and some devotees are going from the Gurdwara to have darshan. You can go with them. And without thinking, I went, and I went with them. Prabhuji was not with me. Nobody was there. They were all in the hotel. So I went with them to that place. And there, when I went there, then I had darshan of this Bauli Mat. Then I went to the hotel and brought everybody with me to have darshan. So now whosoever goes to Puri, they can go and have darshan there. That's the Bauli Mat, where Gunadhev Ji met Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, came in, and Gunadhev Ji has sang the Aarti. He sang the Aarti that is very much in the Guru Granth Sahib. Gagan Vishthal Chand Suraj Divade Bagane. Teri Aarti Bhavkhandana Teri Aarti Hoye. So Gunadhev Ji says, I do your Aarti. I make whole sky the thali. And Chand Suraj Divade. The two diyas are the moon and the sun. I put them in the thali and I do your Aarti. And as a whole vegetation is the trees, the chandan trees are all the incense I offer to you. All the vegetation is the flowers I offer to you. So everything is yours. I do your Aarti. So this is very beautiful Aarti he sang. Gagan vich thal chand suraj divade bane. And there is another Aarti that is sung in the Gurdwaras is Gopal Tera Aarta. Jo teri pagat karte tinke kaaj savarata. Every day in the Gurdwara they do this Aarti. In the big Gurdwaras even, they do this Aarti. Gopal Tera Aarta. Jo teri pagat karte tinke kaaj savarata. So those who all worship you, you actually do everything for them. So there is a lot more, and yes, they met and this service was done. They both sang together and danced together.
I have one more question.
Yes, yes.
So, you see, in Guru Granth Sahib, as we hear more, it also propounds impersonalism, right? Mainly in Guru Granth Sahib. Even in Guru Nanak Dev Ji's teachings, he did not accept the form of the Lord.
He says, he clearly says this, Balbal jaun Shyam Sundar ke madho aisi preet bani, todi na tute, chodi na chute, madho aisi khich tani. Then he says, the Guru, there is Savaiya, the fourth Guru says clearly in the Granth Sahib, it's there, Kamal nayan madhur bayan kot sang sain shob ma yashod jise कहत है दही भात खाए जियो आद सच श्री निवास आदि पुरुष सदा तू ही वाहेगुरु 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 जियो.
Right, so there are references there directly referring to Krishna and Lord Ram also, but still mostly like if you talk to anybody, I have spoken to so many of them.
If you talk to so many Hindus, do they accept Bhagavad Gita? They don't.
At least they have some understanding, some acceptance.
ऐसा कुछ नहीं है प्रभु जी. I've met so many and they say, oh Gita Shita, ठीक है पढ़ी है. They speak that, they are Hindus. So likewise, we can't blame. It's Kali Yuga is on the rise. It's Kali Yuga. And it says, जिन मन अंतर हर प्रीत है सो जन सुगढ़ सियाणे. जिनके मन में हरि से प्रीति है वो बड़े सियाने हैं, बड़े अकलमंद हैं. मूर्खा नाल न लूजिए. Every day in the आशा दीवार it's sung. कि रेस्ट ऑल आर, जो अकलमंद कौन है, जो भक्ति करते हैं भगवान की, और मूर्ख वो हैं जो भगवान की भक्ति नहीं करते हैं. तो उनसे उलझना ही नहीं है. ये क्लियरली गुरु ग्रंथ साहब आदेश दे रही है कि उनसे तो उलझना ही नहीं है. अश्रद्धालु को कृष्ण नाम की महिमा का गुणगान करना ही नहीं है. सिर्फ नाम देख सकते हैं, महिमा का गुणगान नहीं कर सकते. जब तक नाम नहीं जाएगा शुद्ध होगा ही नहीं. जब तक शुद्ध नहीं होगा तब तक वो समझेगा ही कुछ नहीं. उसको कुछ समझ नहीं आ सकता, आप कुछ भी उसको बोलते रहो. सो वही हाल है कलयुग में. पीपल एक्चुअली आर डिग्रेडिंग. सो दे ओनली हैव थिंक एंजॉय लाइफ, ईट लिव एंजॉय. तो और मैक्सिमम हो रहा है कि दे आर इनटू लिकर अल्कोहल एंड दे आर इनटू नॉन वेज. तो वो राइज ही कैसे होंगे? प्योरिटी लेवल कब आएगा? कब सतोगुण में जाएंगे और कब ज्ञान समझ आएगा? इट कैन नॉट हैपन. पर आप जो कह रहे हो दैट इज भगवान क्लियरली सेज कि मैं साकार और निराकार रूप दोनों में उपलब्ध हूँ. सो दोज हु गेट कनेक्टेड टू मी इन द साकार फॉर्म आई बिकम ईजिली एक्सेसिबल. एंड दैट इज हाउ इट इज. द गुरबानी एक्चुअली टॉक्स अबाउट द सेम थिंग. Sakara and Nirakara both ways. Sarvyapak Roop is the Nirakar Roop. It's there. Krishna is in every part and particle. He's there. I was in Pakistan giving a lecture, तो मेरे से पूछा उन्होंने इसी के ऊपर कि भगवान कहते हैं मैं सब जगह हूँ और फिर भी मैं नहीं हूँ उसमें, और मैं सब में हूँ और नहीं भी हूँ. So what does that mean? I said he's everywhere. He's in this sofa, he's in this chair, he's in the table, he's in the floor, everywhere. वो सब में है. But ये कुर्सी भगवान नहीं है. He is in this, but this is not Krishna. You cannot worship this chair as Krishna. But he is there. Without him ये chair हो ही नहीं सकती. Without him कुछ भी नहीं हो सकता. So प्रभुपाद को भी किसी ने यही कहा कि फिर भगवान की मूर्ति आपको क्यों पूछते हो? तो भगवान ने, प्रभुपाद ने कहा आप कह रहे हो भगवान सब जगह है, कण कण में है, तो फिर वो इस मूर्ति में क्यों नहीं आ सकते? वो इसमें क्यों नहीं आ सकते? वो आपके भाव में है. आप चाहोगे तो वो इसमें प्रकट हो जाएंगे. अगर आप उसको मूर्ति समझोगे तो वो मूर्ति बने रहेंगे. आप सोचोगे ये कृष्ण हम, इट इज हिमसेल्फ, ही विल अपीयर हिमसेल्फ. सो दिस इज एक्चुअली व्हाट गुरु नानक देव जी इवन इज सेइंग दैट. और उस समय मुगलों का राज था, एंड मुगल जो थे वो तो वैसे ही डेटीज को तोड़ रहे थे. एंड वाहिगुरु मंत्र बनाया गया, तो वाहिगुरु का अर्थ दिया गया. वाहिगुरु हैज गॉट 4 letters, VHGR. और भाई गुरदास जी जिन्होंने गुरु ग्रंथ साहब लिखा है, उन्होंने एक बुक लिखी है वारा 14, उसका 49 जो वारा है, वारा नाम है बुक का, वारा मीन्स श्लोकास. तो उसमें 49 श्लोका. It says there are 4 yugas, सतयुग, त्रेता, द्वापर एंड कलयुग. तो he says 4 yugas, चारों युग में भगवान को ही पाना अल्टीमेट है. तो कैसे पाते हैं? और सत जो V है, जैसे he clearly said there are 4 letters of वाहिगुरु, VHGR. सतयुग सतगुरु वासुदेव बब्बा विष्णु नाम जपावे. The V stands for विष्णु. त्रेता राम जी ररा राम जपे सुख पावे. त्रेता इज राम आए, तो जिसने राम जपा उसको सुख मिला, उसको भगवान मिल गए. R stands for राम. द्वापर हरि कृष्ण आए, सो हरि, H stands for हरि. कलयुग गुरु नानक आए, गग्गा गोविंद नाम लाए. Guru Nanak Dev Ji came as a guru and as a spiritual father, and he said, सब गोविंद है, गोविंद बिन नाही कोई. चारों अक्षर एक कर एक जप मंत्र बनाए वाहिगुरु. सो वह विष्णु ह हरि ग गोविंद र राम, चारों अक्षर एक कर एक जप मंत्र बनाए वाहिगुरु. सो इट इज दैट वे दैट इफ वी चैंट वी बिकम प्योरिफाइड. और जो आप कह रहे हो कि अनलेस द सिक्स दे डोंट एक्सेप्ट, दोज हु आर वेरी प्योरिफाइड दे एक्सेप्ट इट.
I have met both categories.
You see, your answer is with you only.
I mean, I have, but very rare, very rare.
तो भगवान कह रहे हैं कोई बिरला ही मुझ तक आएगा, तो हम तो रेयर कहेंगे. भगवान तो उससे पहले ही कह रहे हैं इट्स रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर, रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर. अभी तो आगे चल के और रेयरेस्ट ऑफ द रेयर हो जाएगा. जब तक प्योरिफिकेशन नहीं है कोई समझेगा नहीं.
There are a couple of pastimes of Guru Nanak Dev which also indicate towards like he had more inclination towards impersonalism kind of thing. Like one particular thing is he is pointing his feet towards the picture of the Lord, right? Somebody said why you are pointing
Makkah, he was in Makkah. He was in Makkah, and जब उन्होंने मक्का की तरफ पैर किए मक्का घूम गया. तो it is right, भगवान तो सब जगह है. Respect everybody, he said. One has to respect everybody. It doesn't be ritual से ऊपर किया उन्होंने. That's why I say what I have learned there I'm practicing in ISKCON. I used to tell Guru Maharaj, what I have learned in Sikhism I'm practicing here because we are above rituals. कृष्ण कह रहे हैं शुभ अशुभ परित्यागी भक्त माने सम प्रिय. शुभ और अशुभ कुछ नहीं है. जो मेरे भक्त हैं उनके लिए ना कोई शुभ घड़ी है ना कोई अशुभ घड़ी है, कोई मुहूर्त नहीं है, सब मेरे हैं. सो दैट्स व्हाट वी फॉलो इन द सिक्स. एक ये चीज़ तो वी फॉलो कि कोई घड़ी नहीं है, सब भगवान की और गुरु की घड़ियाँ हैं. जहाँ भगवान और गुरु का आशीर्वाद लिया है सब कुछ अच्छा होगा. बट दिस इज, वो ये भूल जाते हैं कि यू हैव टू बी टोटली सरेंडर्ड. इट्स नॉट जस्ट कि एक अपने मतलब की चीज़ ले ली और दूसरी छोड़ दी. वो होल वर्ल्ड इज डूइंग दिस. अपने मतलब के लिए ले लिया और बाकी चीज़ छोड़ दो, तो इट इज़ नॉट डन. सो दिस इज अबव रिचुअल्स. अगर उन्होंने जनेऊ पहनने से भी मना किया तो उन्होंने कहा ये वाला जनेऊ पहनाओ जो मेरे, जो दया का जनेऊ हो, जो दया लेकर आए मेरे अंदर. सबको जनेऊ पहनना है तो पहले ब्राह्मण वाले गुण लेकर आओ अपने अंदर. सिर्फ जनेऊ ऐसे एक धागा नहीं है. इट्स गॉट लॉट ऑफ मीनिंग इन इट. उसी जनेऊ की रक्षा के लिए 9th गुरु गिव्स हिज लाइफ. देन आप कैसे कह सकते हो कि वो इन रिचुअल से ऊपर ले जा रहे थे? उन्होंने तो अपनी गुरु तेग बहादुर जी ने तो अपनी जीवन दे दिया। गुरु तेग बहादुर जी के पास जब कश्मीरी आए, पंडित आए कश्मीरी, और उन्होंने कहा कि औरंगजेब मांग रहा है, क्या कर रहा है, पंडितों को मार रहा है, ब्राह्मणों को मार रहा है, क्योंकि औरंगजेब ने वाव लिया था कि जब तक वो एक मन जनेऊ नहीं आता था खून से भरा हुआ, वो खाना नहीं खाता था। और जनेऊ, एक मन जनेऊ, जनेऊ तो वेटलेस होता है, धागे में कितना वेट है, एक मन जनेऊ इकट्ठा करने के लिए कितने ब्राह्मण मारने पड़ेंगे? तो ब्राह्मणर्स वर बीइंग स्लॉटर्ड। और फिर वो ब्राह्मण पहुंचे, कहाँ, उन्होंने कहा किससे मांगे? तो सिखिज्म बना ही इसलिए था, टू प्रोटेक्ट, टू गिव एक्चुअली, कि जो कड़ा है जिसने ये पहना हुआ है वो आपकी रक्षा करेगा, उसके पास आप निडर होके चले जाओ, वो आपकी रक्षा करेगा। तो दैट इज हाउ गुरु तेग बहादुर जी के पास वो पंडित पहुंचे, और वहाँ थे 10th सिख गुरु, गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी बैठे हुए थे। ही वॉज जस्ट 9 year old एट दैट टाइम। तो जब पंडित आए तो गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी बोले, गुरु तेग बहादुर जी ने कहा पहले कि अब टाइम आया है कि किसी को शहादत, किसी को somebody has to give life to protect them now। तो गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी ने कहा आपसे बड़ा कौन होगा? उनको हिंद की चादर कहा जाता है कि आपसे बड़ा और कौन होगा जो ये बलिदान देगा? तो गुरु तेग बहादुर जी को दिल्ली लाया गया, और उन्हें जब उसने कहा कि, क्योंकि गुरु तेग बहादुर जी ने कहा पंडों को कि जाकर बोल दो अगर मुझे वो मुसलमान बना लेंगे, तुम सब मुसलमान बन जाओगे। तो दे वर हैप्पी, मुगल्स वर हैप्पी कि अब तो चलो हम अगर इनको मुसलमान बना लेंगे तो सारे मुस्लिम हो जाएंगे। इनको इतना टॉर्चर करेंगे, इनके सामने इनके ही लोगों को टॉर्चर करेंगे। पहले तो उन्होंने किया, फिर गुरु तेग बहादुर जी के सर को काटने का हुक्म दे दिया। जो सीसगंज गुरुद्वारा दिल्ली में है, दैट इज़ द प्लेस। और फिर उन्हें एक पिंजरे में बंद किया गया। तो उन्होंने कहा कि मैं जब रोज़ सुबह जब ब्रह्म मुहूर्त में उठ के पाठ करता हूँ, उस समय जब मैं भगवान को सर झुकाऊंगा, भगवान के आगे सजदा करूँगा, तब मेरा सिर कलम कर देना, क्योंकि सिर सिर्फ भगवान के सामने झुकता है। तो उन्होंने पाठ किया, और जैसे ही सर नीचे किया उन्होंने सर अलग कर दिया। और जब उस सर को लेकर एक सिख था वो, क्योंकि उस समय आंधी आई इतनी, क्योंकि ये मुगल चाहते नहीं थे कि वो शरीर किसी और कोई मतलब सिखों के हाथ लगे, पर भगवान ने ऐसा किया कि उस समय आंधी चल पड़ी एकदम। और जो सर था वो एक सीख लेके गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी के पास गया, और धड़ जो था वो रकाबगंज गुरुद्वारा है पार्लियामेंट हाउस के साथ, वहाँ पर उसका घर था, उसने अपने घर को ही आग लगा दी बीच में उनके शरीर को रखकर। और फिर वो सर वहाँ गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी के पास गया। तो उन्होंने ये जो है he sacrificed his father, but when we read actually about Guru Gobind Singh Ji's story, so he is actually given so many sacrifices। वो आई इसीलिए थे, वो लिखते हैं, अब मैं अपनी कथा बखानो कि मैं कलयुग में आया हूँ, भगवान ने भेजा है मुझे। और मैं तो क्या कर रहा था, मैं तो मेडिटेशन में था इन हेमकुंड साहब नियर बद्रीनाथ, जहाँ लक्ष्मण ने भी, पांडवों ने मेडिटेशन, लक्ष्मण ने भी करी और पांडव भी गए ना। तो कह रहे मैं तो मेडिटेशन में, डीप मेडिटेशन में, भगवान के चरणों में मेरी सुरती लगी हुई थी, पर मुझे भगवान ने ऑर्डर दिया कि अब तुम्हें जाना पड़ेगा, कलयुग आया है, कलु आयो रे। और फिर भगवान के आदेश पे मैं आया, और मैंने भगवान से कहा कि मुझे अपना सुत निवाजो, मैं आपका बेटा बनकर जाऊँगा, आपको मेरे साथ रहना होगा। तो भगवान ने कहा ठीक है, आई विल बी देयर विद यू, बट यू हैव टू फिनिश दिस वर्क। जो अत्याचार हो रहा है, जो सब हो रहा है, इसके लिए तुम्हें जाना होगा, तुम्हें वहाँ पर इसको एक्चुअली देन ही केम एंड देन ही सैक्रिफाइस्ड हिज 4 sons ऑन दैट। और फिर जो था मुगलों का जो रूल था वो कमज़ोर पड़ गया, और दैट्स हाउ इट हैपेंड। औरंगजेब के बाद मुगलों का जो कमज़ोर हो गया सब, तो गुरु गोविंद सिंह जी यहाँ थे जब उनकी उसके बाद युद्ध हुआ है। सो यस,
Why God allowed these monsters like Aurangzeb to live for years?
दैट इज demons and divine demigods, ये सब भगवान के ही हैं। दे आर ऑल कृष्णास, सब कुछ तो भगवान ने बनाया है। इट्स ऑल हिज क्रिएटिविटी, इट्स ऑल हिज। अगर वो है Because हमें rectify होना है, how will you know कि demonic क्या होता है, divine क्या होता है? So this is for us also to know. And they're all, everybody is his devotee. Everybody is performing in their capacity. And Krishna is actually the only one. So to make us aware that we have to go back to him, हम अपना expedite करें. So that is why these saintly persons come and they show us that how we can go back. They show us the path. That don't be a demonoid. Be like Prahlad. The Gurbani every day it's sung there. राम जपो जी ऐसे ऐसे ध्रुव प्रहलाद जपयो हर जैसे. Chant the glories of Hari like Dhruv and Prahlad. And the Bhagavatam says, yes, Dhruv and Prahlad are your ideals. Make them your ideals. The 5-year-old and 7-year-old. And the Gurbani says that. So there is lot and lot. It's not just this. The 5th Sikh Guru says in his, there's a para where he talks all the names of Krishna. अच्युत पार ब्रह्म परमेश्वर अंतर्जामी मधुसूदन दामोदर स्वामी ऋषिकेश गोवर्धन धारी मुरली मनोहर हरि रंगा मोहन माधव कृष्ण मुरारे जगदीश्वर हरजीव असुर संहारे जगजीवन अविनाशी ठाकुर घटघट वासी है संगा तरनी तीर ईस नरसिंगा नारायण तर अग्रे प्रथम तरायन बावन रूप किया तुद करते सभी है सेती चंगा. So likewise this goes on. Mukund Manohar Lakshmi Narayan Vasudev Niranjan Date Gopinath Sagal hai Sathe Bhakta Vatsal Anath Nathe Draupadi Lajja Nivaran Har Kamal Kant Kare Kautuhal Amog Darshan Ajoni Sambho Akal Murad Jis Kade Nahi Kao Mach Kach Kurma. ये तीनों अवतार भगवान के. So it talks about all that. शंख चक्र गदा पदम है तारी महासारथी सतसंगा पीत पितंबर त्रिभुवन तनी जगन्नाथ गोपाल मुख बनी सारंगधार भगवान बिठोला मैं गणत ना आवे सरबंगा. So it is Beetlo Mora Baap Re. Lord Vitthal again has been glorified here. Vitthal is Krishna. So I hope that is there. And of course, जैसे मैंने कहा कि the purity, if a purified Sikh is there, of course he understands everything.
I interacted with some of the toughest ones maybe. in our old neighborhood there was one Sikh family. So I used to have a lot of interfaith talks with him. And he will never accept.
They won't. I've got educated friends of mine. They said, I don't know what कौन सी ग्रंथ साहब तुम पढ़ती हो, हम तो नहीं पढ़ते.
So when we refer to these things,
they say पता नहीं तुम कौन से गुरु ग्रंथ साहब पढ़ते हो. I said okay, ये pages ले लो. I've got full evidences. You go and read it for yourself. मेरे uncle he's no more now. He was जैसे दरबार साहब गोल्डन टेम्पल है हरमंदिर साहब, ऐसे ही तरन तारन साहब. I don't know how many of you know about तरन तारन साहब. So there is near Amritsar, just few kilometers away from Amritsar is Taran Taran Sahib. And in Taran Taran Sahib there is a replica of golden temple. Exactly such a golden temple was built there also. And उसपे जितना सोना लगा हुआ है, that is from my master ji, my uncle's home. They had donated, his ancestors. It's written, still written there. There's a placard there. And my uncle used to get up, since childhood I was seeing every day he would get up at 3:30. And they were the richest people there. He would get up at 3:30, take a shower, go to the Darbar Sahib every day. And then come back, take a glass of milk and a plate of fruit, would go to Babaji's room where Guru Granth Sahib was there. And that would be offered. He would do some part, and then he was pure vegetarian throughout his life. He would eat that, take a paranti and all that, and ride a bicycle to his, actually the shops and the offices there. He had many shops there. They lived in a big haveli. He had a car and drivers, but he would use to go to Amritsar if he had to go somewhere around. But to go to his shops every day, bicycle. He would go on a bicycle. And we would go and stay there in our vacations. We would be there because they had a huge house, and then had there were fields and there were gaushala there where they had the New Jersey cows and all that. We would go, that how they actually milk the cows. As a kid, we were very inquisitive and we would explore that. So, and then in the evening when the dinner time would be, that would be like by 8 o'clock, and then he would say no TV. And he was very strict with all of us, no TV, and the TVs would be off, and he would say just eat food, be on the table and eat. And He remained a vegetarian throughout, and he was he looked very stern and very strict Sikh. But then I used to think him to be very fanatic. We were kids, and I grew up in a house in Delhi. That was Taran. We used to think, oh, they live in a village, and we live in a town, a city. And my father was an exporter. We had full access to hotels, and we would go. He would take me to meet his buyers. When my father's buyers would come, and we would, because at that time India was like, if anybody from foreign would come, it was something like, it was not so, it was very rare, like. So we had a lot of exposure going traveling abroad with my father and all that. So for me it was a village, and I thought he's very strict, very fanatic kind of a thing, very backward, we would think that. But then when I became devotee, I was very wrong. When I became devotee, out of the whole family, he was the most happiest person. He was extremely happy. He would come visit us in Delhi on weddings and all, and the weddings would go on, the DJ would be there in the 5-star hotel and everything, everybody is busy. We would be sitting in the lobby and discussing Granth Sahib and Gita with uncle. And one day he says, I want to meet your Guru Maharaj. He was 85 at that time. I'm talking in the year 2005. So my uncle, he was 85 at that time, and he said, I want to meet your Guru Maharaj. So Krishna plans everything. I was so surprised. He was here, it was month of January in Delhi, and Guru Maharaj, actually the day he actually expressed the desire to see him, I came to know Guru Maharaj was in Vrindavan and coming to Punjabi Bagh itself to give a big program in the night. So I told Darji, I said, Guru Maharaj is coming, you want to have his darshan? He said, yes. And he came with us. It was January, extremely cold it was, but Darji came. And Guru Maharaj got late. He reached by 9:30 in the night for the program. We had been waiting for nearly 2 hours. So I told Darji, I said, if you want, I can drop you back because Guru Maharaj is coming a bit late. And the program was all in open air with all, gas stoves were there for the heating. But Guru Darji said, no, I want to wait. He waited, and then Guru Maharaj came. He was in a big rush, Guru Maharaj, because everybody was waiting and he did not want to keep everybody delayed. But then I just had few minutes, just 1 or 2 minutes with Guru Maharaj. I told Guru Maharaj, introduced Darji to him, and Maharaj said, oh my God, he's 85 and he especially came. So Guru Maharaj met him. And I told Darji, when Guru Maharaj started the lecture, I told Darji to take a chair and sit there at the back. He said, no, I have to sit here. And Maharaj is giving lecture and Darji sat here. With a white turban and with a white beard, he's sitting there at the age of 85 at the feet of Guru Maharaj. And then Guru Maharaj, when after the session was over, we dropped, then no talks with Guru Maharaj, but we dropped Darji home, and Guru Maharaj, of course, he was gone back to Big Temple. And after a few months, it was January he met, and in October, Darji has a stroke, a paralytic stroke. So my mother, she rushed to Amritsar, and when she rushed there, she called me up and she said, we can't understand what Darji is saying because his tongue has twirled, but he is asking for you again and again. And he's saying, tell her to pray for me. Ki wo mere liye ardas kare. I called up Guru Maharaj. I said, Maharaj, you met my uncle. He has got such a thing has happened. And he's asking for you to pray. So Guru Maharaj said, call him up and say Hare Krishna to him. I called my mother and I said, Darji ke kaan pe phone lagao. And then my mother says, we can't understand what he speaks here. How will you understand on the phone? It's very difficult for you to understand. I said, no, I just have to say something to him. That's all. So she put the phone on his ears. And I said, Darji, Hare Krishna. And Darji says, Hare Krishna, Hare Rama, Hare Krishna. And then after few months, I traveled there. I read the Bhagavad Gita, the 18th chapter, and the Granth Sahib to him. And then after a few months, he passed away. And when I went on his kirya, his caretaker told me he had a fireplace like this in his home, in his room. And his caretaker told me that there is a piece of paper where he had asked me to write the Mahamantra. And he had kept it there on the ledge there. He was always looking at it. And he must be meditating in his mind. And he left this planet. So you see, this is the purification. If you are purified, you understand the mercy of the Supreme Lord, the mercy of a pure devotee, that is Guru Maharaj. So he actually wanted to have his darshan, and Guru Maharaj gave him the darshan, talked to him. And when he falls sick, Guru Maharaj says, say Hare Krishna to him. So this is how mercy comes. If you are pure, mercy, Krishna plans it all. And he could understand the Vaishnavas. So this is how it is. This in itself, this example shows that again, whether you are a Sikh or a Hindu or whatever you are, I've met Muslim friends. I've met Muslim uncle also I had. My father who used to call him uncle, and I met him also. And I gave him my book in Urdu to him. And he looked around the book. He was a scholar. He said, I've read the Granth Sahib, I've read Gita. Big scholar he was. He just went through the book. Within 1 minute he says, Punjabi mein he said, Teri book कहती है कि Vishnu di bhakti करनी पड़ेगी. I said, yes. He's a Muslim. He said that. And he tells me, I tell my daughter-in-law always feed me, vegetarian food. He said that to me. Because he could understand what it was written. They all know in heart what it is. Fanaticism is actually, वो बुरा है, बाकी तो सब ठीक है. So those who are pure, those who are intelligent, they will understand. Those who are fools, they are fanatics, they will not understand. That's it. So we are actually blessed that we had the association of pure devotees of the Lord, like Srila Prabhupada, like other sannyasis, Guru Maharaj, other sannyasis, those who are still on the planet. We are very fortunate. So I think so we should end. You're all getting late. Hari Bol. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srila Bhagavad Pad ki jai. God Premanande. Hari Bol.